I'm going to show you guys how I make dirt for seed starter and young plants. What I've got here is azomite, which is crushed rock, and it's got a bunch of minerals. I forget how many. It's got that's the main ones, and then it's got a lot of extra. I think it's up to 80 or something, but I could be thinking of something else. This has a ton of different strains of bacteria in it and all types of good stuff. This is really important. This is a fungi that lives and attaches to the roots and helps the roots become much larger and be able to exchange more stuff. These two are really what's making plants strong. And then I've got some homemade compost, some strained, some not. And I got cow poop. If I only had one thing to grow in, it would be this, because this is pretty much everything you need. And then this is some somewhat local compost. State of Maryland picks up leaves and stuff and lets them rot and then bags it up and sells it to you. Pretty good stuff. Sometimes there's some extra funk in there because it's just people's recycling, kind of. This is peat moss. This is not the best thing to be using because it's not sustainable. There are better options like coconut coir, but I guess I got kind of greedy and grabbed one. So what I'm gonna do is put a little bit of these guys in here to get it mixed up, and then what I'm pretty much gonna do is do 1 part compost, 1 part cow poop, 1 part store-bought compost, and 1 part peat moss, and I'm gonna mix this stuff in as I go. So I'll kind of give you an idea how that goes. I'm just making a small batch, but just to give you an idea what I think is good for the starters. So I'll start off a little bit. So the reason I'm adding this to this type of dirt is because the seed roots are going to start and they're going to come in contact with this stuff right away, and this is where we're loading this stuff up with all the good stuff that the plants need. So instead of spending a ton of money and mixing this in with the whole entire garden, I just mix it in with the plants as they start, and they can do as they wish with it. So some of the stuff I go kind of heavy with, a little heavier than you'd think, I guess. Alright, so now you have a whole bunch of stuff that the seedlings like. It's going to hold water and help the roots get going to do what they got to do to get the plant healthy. Alright, start new plants and seeds in Back to Eden or wood chip or sheet mulch or whatever you want to call this kind of gardening, where you have massive amounts of organic layer on top. The problem is this stuff really hurts young plants. So when you try to plant something in this at all and the little baby plant touches any of this, it just disintegrates, bugs eat it and whatnot. So what I do, which I find pretty easy, is I scrape away the mulch until I'm pretty much down at the dirt that's in here. Usually I'm much thicker than this, but this is a well-established garden here, so I don't have to go crazy with it. And then what I do is I take my pre-made dirt with all the good stuff in it, and I just fill this trench in so it's pretty much level with the mulch that's there. So essentially what I'm doing is the whole entire garden is still covered in this organic matter, so life can do its thing. And then I've got like a little access point of amazing dirt that's everything that these guys need. And now when something is living here, it's just like the garden, just like anywhere else that you'd try to start it. And then once it gets going, this is good nutrients for it, and it's going to grow down and get a hold of the dirt that's down there. And then once the plants are established, I'll just end up mulching it in, and that's how it just keeps going. So I'm gonna do some chives here with some flowers at the end. So I'll just give you an idea. Take some garlic chives. These are old seeds, so I'm gonna go really thick with them. I have a hard time with chives anyway. Alright, so just like any other garden now, I've got seeds sitting in the dirt. I'm gonna get them some water. I'm gonna show you how I plant an established sprout instead of from seed. So I've got these guys spread out far enough for some small to medium cabbage. And what I'm gonna do is get down. This is grass underneath. This is not established at all, so I'm gonna see what happens doing this. Get down to the ground, fill this in with the compost and fancy stuff mix. These guys hopefully didn't dry out too much. Show you one more. Ta-da!